I start my conversation. And if you guys are new here, I am Erma. I make lives and videos on, I have an Amish background. I make on minimalism and any kind of questions or videos that you request. I'm a pretty open book, so add your questions. I have a few questions that I thought I would go over tonight, as far as some cleaning tips, some recipes, just share tips and experiences and so forth. And I have a question about education and what I think about reality TV shows. And so I will be going over some of that. Say hi if you are joining and where you're coming in from. I am from Ohio, so where the weather is any kind of thing. Today has been beautiful. It's in the 80 degrees, so it's pretty warm. We've had a lot of nice and warm days, so it's getting a little bit on the dry side, but such beautiful, beautiful days. And hi from Cambridge. Hey, hey, what's up? How are you doing? I'm just gonna wait for a while for people to hop on. I know I haven't been very consistent with posting or doing lives. There's a number of things that came up in the last few weeks and just wasn't able to. I had a funeral come up, and then I was helping someone out of a situation that took up some time, and I'm very passionate about helping girls especially, but helping people in a lot of different things. And yeah, so hopefully I'll be back. As you might know, if summer gets busy, summertime gets a lot of things to do and places to go, but I love making videos. I really love it, and I don't want to quit at all. So I'm so glad and so happy to be back and be here to have a conversation with you guys. I miss you. Hopefully you guys are doing well. What are you guys up to tonight? I don't know if I will be able to do I know I'm not going to be able to do every weekend. Hi Noah, good seeing you. Welcome. What are you up to tonight? There were a number of things I could have done, but I have missed you guys, and I just wanted to sit down and have a conversation with y'all. So questions, I know if you guys have questions, feel free to ask questions. You were listening to Zoom. Awesome. That's always good. There's a lot we learn in those Zoom calls, right? I love those. Some of them are more health coaching. Some of them are just mindset. There's so many different variety of them. So those are so good. Awesome. Always inspiration, always growing from them. I'm always learning, and good to see you. Yes, I miss you guys too. I haven't been very consistent. Hopefully I will be able to just go week by week and see if I can, which is not very professional YouTuber. I know that. I am very laid back, and I'm not too professional with this. I'm learning, I guess. I guess that's how we all learn. I will wait a little bit more longer till I have a few more people hopping on. I know if I'm more consistent, it's easier to know what time I'll be alive. So I guess I'm keeping you guys guessing. Not what I should be. It should be consistent, but so goes. I was able to have a few nights around the campfires, so that's been good. Saturday night, my parents had work day Saturday. They are putting in a living quarters on their property for my brother and his family, and so Saturday night after work day, we sat around the fire. That's like my favorite thing in the summertime, is sitting around the fire and just relaxing and chilling and eating um, with family and friends. And that often happens on a weekend, so sometimes, more often, it's on a weekend. Um, so it was a good weekend. Did y'all have a good Memorial Day? Like, what was the favorite thing about Memorial Day? Goodness. Um, there was another cookout for some of my friends through church on Sunday night, and um, I am not doing parades just yet. I was thinking maybe July 4th I'll try and go to a parade for the first time, due to my sensitivities and things. Same here, I like campfires. Ah, those are the best. They're so relaxing and chill, and that's where good conversation happens for sure. Um, Due to the brain cyst that I have not gone to a lot of parades. It's very stimulating, but I was one in December. I was in one, or was at one, and I'm thinking maybe I'll try one in July. So we'll see how that goes. I'm at the point where I'm able to handle more and more of all of that stimulation kind of things that go on. So I'm excited for when I can. Fireworks is really, really tough for me, so we'll maybe eventually I'll go to one. There's so many neighbors, I can see a lot where I'm at, probably up to a dozen different places sometimes, so I get my fill even if I don't go anywhere. What's your favorite holiday? Just waiting for a few more people to hop on. I should have posted it um, on social media as well, so maybe I'll just go ahead and do it and then I can post it after. Um, I have a few questions that I thought I would kind of go over. Um, and seeing, I watch war movies with dad. Unfortunately, no campfire. Yeah, war movies are with dad. That's not good though, that you're still hanging out with your dad, and I'm sure that's a fun time too. That's a good connection and anything you can do together. Do you like campfires though, Jeff, or is that just not your thing? There was another question about how Amish and some Mennonite disseminate information if you don't have phones. So most of them have phones. 90% of the Amish have phones, but that is a lot how they get information. But they also go door to door, like some, if depending what information, but mostly through phone anymore. Where I come from, they're having the cell phones now, and so it makes it really, really easy. Another one was about some household and cleaning tips that I thought I would share. So I usually, for a big part, use Norwex. Norwex is a cleaning. They have cleaning cloth. They have body cloth that you just need water. Some of the fibers and the stuff, silvers and things that are in it, are made to clean without adding soaps and things. So I haven't bought like body wash in 10 years or something because I use those body cloths. And so um, that is a tip that I have to simplify things. And that's what your mom uses. That's awesome. It just makes it so simple. And I even say for washing windows, nothing is more simple than wetting a cloth, washing it and drying it, and then hanging it up to dry, and then you put it away. Then I wash it every now and then, but you don't have to wash it every time. And it's so much easier than anything. And I love how clean things are, especially windows. I do clean houses some for a living, and I'm not a fan of Windex, just saying. Not that I never use some, but the cloth, way better in my opinion. That's just my 2 cents there. But it makes it so simple, and same with doing like the floors or washing off furniture, anything like that. It's just like rinse it out, wash it, and you're done. There's no, there's, it's, I feel it runs a lot cheaper. I've saved a lot of money on it, It simplifies things, and I don't have to store a lot, especially me being in an apartment. I don't have a lot of space for stuff, and so I don't need a lot of cleaning supplies at all. That is my biggest tip when it comes to cleaning, is simply getting our wicks. And not just cleaning, even like I said, body wash, and it takes off makeup. The body cloths are really good with makeup. So you're, I just like washing your face, taking off makeup. Um, you don't need the, I don't even know what other people really use, moisturizer towels or cottons or whatever, because I just, it simplifies everything. Really simplifies everything. Um, some other tips that I would have, one is having a schedule and a routine. I thrive off of schedules and routines, and I know everyone is different in that way. But having, like, I clean my house and I live by myself, so my house doesn't get very dirty. But I clean my house about every 2 to 3 weeks. And if I about 2 or 3 weeks go past, I start noticing dust and the floors, and the floors I try to do every 2 weeks for sure. And that week I'll make a to-do list. This is what I want to do: the bathroom, the floors and the dusting, or if I want to get some windows, and just make an intentional list for the next one of the next days when I see I have an hour or whatever. Hey, I have an hour. I'll do all the floors, and that to me is vacuuming, and then I'll wash them up every few weeks, but vacuuming every week or two. And that, just being intentional about how often you do things and when. Like for me, it's right now I don't have even when exactly. I used to be on a Saturday, but my Saturdays are kind of taking up this summer with work days and fun stuff, and so I'm doing it during the week. So today I was working from home, so I worked on some organization. That was so needed lately. I've been using some Amazon boxes or just some other storage containers that weren't. It worked very well. It just wasn't as neat, and some of them were almost too big for my shelf and so forth. So today I did those, and I got some storage containers for my garage. I had a few boxes, like one box of Christmas decor and one box of another decor, and so I just put those in storage containers. Looks so much neater. It's weird. It's crazy how just something like that can give you motivation. Now when I come to my garage, it's I have about the same amount of stuff, but it looks neater and it gives me motivation and it gives me energy, and it just helps my mental health. And so I'm super excited. I did the one closet, top shelf in my closet, where I had all the knickknacks like extension cords and screws and screwdrivers and um, uh, duct tape and other tape and batteries, and just organizing those things in containers that actually fit on the shelf, and they're all same. They're 6 same ones that fit on the shelf, and they're marked what is in it. Way more organized, and it feels so good. So that is the thing that I would say: get organized, have your things organized, where everything has a place for everything, and everything in its place, is how mom would used to say, because it really is worth knowing where your stuff is, and it just helps boost your mental health. And I'm not quite done yet. I have a bottom shelf that has like odd things, like a little sweeper and some bags and some odds and ends that I'm trying to think. The iron thing is in there, and it's just some hard things that are a little bit harder to know exactly how to organize. And then I'm also working on under my bed. I had a few boxes under there, and so I ordered. I don't have that just yet, but I ordered an organizing thing that is supposed to fit under my bed. I'm so excited for that. So I'll put my winter stuff in there, and a little few extra pillowcases and that sort of thing. So that will be organized. Just getting those things organized makes the biggest difference, especially if you have a small space. I don't know how many square feet, about 18 by 40, I believe this apartment is. And so I don't have a lot of space, and I love it because it helps me. I have to be organized, or it drives me crazy because I haven't organized. I just love organization. So I'll get organized and have a place for everything and everything in its place, and simplify things. Did I use it in the last if it's seasonal, did I use it in the last year? Brain disease, I can't organize very well. I think if you have a system, do you ever try like a system or even getting help to organize it? There are people out there that help with that, or getting rid of things that you don't use, getting rid of things that you don't use, you don't wear. Every now and then I'll go through my closet. Hey, I haven't worn that. I haven't worn that. I haven't worn that. I put it in a closet that is time will tell closet, and if it's in there for a month or 2 or 3 or 4, I probably won't wear it, and then it goes into my storage box that I donate. So that is another thing. Go through your closet and take out all the stuff, and every now and then I take out something and put it in the time will tell, and all of a sudden I get all these ideas of how I could wear it, and I love it, or I'll tailor it so that I wear it, and all of a sudden I love that piece. So actually this shirt was one of those. I don't know if it was in the time will tell or not, but I just didn't wear it. The neckline was so tight that it just felt suffocating, and it had these darts in the front, so it was kind of like that, and it just didn't fit well. I didn't wear it. So all of a sudden I was like, okay, gotta go or I gotta fix it. And I took out those darts and made the neckline a little bit bigger, and now I wear it all the time because I love it. So fix it. If you don't wear it, fix it so you will wear it, or get rid of it. And that keep your closet organized that way too, so you only have clothes that you love and that you wear. Trying to think of some other tips and household things. Sleeping very in quietness is really good for your brain. I sleep with complete quietness, and complete being very dark is really good for you. Just shuts off your brain better than if you have too much light and brightness in it, if you at all can get used to that. I know for some people it might be harder. I grew up that way, and so that makes a difference. But if you can get used to it at all, I don't even sleep with a fan. I know I just have a hard time sleeping if there's any kind of noise, and that includes a fan. So there you go. Or my air conditioner. I'll run the air conditioner at night, and then I'll sleep without an air conditioner for the night because it needs to be quiet. Some other things like washing dishes. I wash my dishes every day. I know everyone is different in that way, and if you have a family, it probably needs to wash a few times a day. But that's something I've noticed. At one point, I started washing it every meal, and it was so little bit. By the time my dishwater was half full, I was done. And it's just kind of a waste of time and a waste of soap. And now I wash the dishes for the last few years once a day. Every lunch I wash my dishes, and that really works out because lunch is my biggest meal, and it's kind of when I cook. And so after I'm done with that and my biggest meal, I wash my dishes, and I have 2 plates and 4 bowls, and so that I think now I have 4 plates and 4 bowls, and so that is enough for every day. And so if I get company or someone comes over, I do sometimes need to wash some dishes before, or I'll use a cup or whatever. But that works out super well. You don't need a lot of extras because it just helps that you don't wash dishes, or that again, they're just dealing with a lot more inventory. So a lot of my dishes, I reuse the same ones daily, like the pan I use for eggs for breakfast, and I'm opposite, have to have noise, too much time in the army. Gotcha, you need to have noise. That, yeah, I know that's a lot what you get used to it, so it's not that I have it quiet all the time, but it is really good for the brain to completely shut off if you're able to. Some other things, meal prep. Eating simply is so easy. It is so easy. Like, so I bake once a week, and that is for the week, what I bake. Last Usually it lasts more than a week, so I'll put in the refrigerator what I need for a week and put the rest in the freezer. And so every about 3 or so weeks, I don't need to bake for a week or two, and to catch up with the few things that I baked in the weeks before. And it just really makes it handy for when emergencies come up, or the last few weeks I had a lot of things come up that I used up all my baked goods, but it was so handy to have it in the freezer when I need it. So that would be a tip for bake. I always have baked goods in the freezer, and know how often you have to bake, whether that's once a week or twice a week or whatever. Um, Eating simply when you get home from work, what's easier than a banana or a kiwi or an orange or whatever your favorite fruit is? Um, Berries, I come sometimes get berries. I wash all of them, and then when I get home from work, a few days, I just eat berries or whatever, berries and chocolate cookies and a little bit of milk. The best. I feel I'm all over the place, but it is the best. And so eating healthy doesn't have to be hard. It can be so, so simple. Start with it if you do meat, eating protein with every meal. For me, looks like eggs and oftentimes beans for breakfast, and then a meat for dinner, lunch. So whether that's chicken, or today I had a fish sandwich, or there's a variety of fish and there's a variety of chicken cuts and um, ground meat, turkey, hamburger, whatever. Um, I believe Mom has about 4 bowls of cookies in the freezer, or does she keep all the variety of cookies on hand so when you come over you get them? Yeah, that's handy. And the thing that I like about every week is in the freezer. That's such a good idea. It's so handy. And like I said, when the funeral came up, I didn't have, wasn't thinking about baking, but I had stuff in the freezer. So, but I do need to, like, I try to catch up with it every now and then so it doesn't get old too. But that's so, so easy and so handy. Hmm. Um, this came out. If have you ever read stories about Amish men and women? They develop relationships which often become romance. If you have read any of the fiction stories, would you state whether the customs are being shared in an accurate manner? Thank you for your honesty. So I have not read a lot of them. I have read parts of such books. Um, for where I come from, they were so far fetched, so far off, that I didn't even want to read it because it was just like someone just really made stuff up. Not saying it's not true for anyone, but it's the customs in general were not at all um, accurate, or where I come from at least. So I would not say a lot of those were not. It wasn't even interesting to me because it was like someone is just there for making up a story. That's how it felt for me. But yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents on it. I do not think they're. I have found almost um, none of those books to be any sort of much truth in them, or any perspective that was true or good or accurate, I guess I could say. Another tip: get your sleep. Get your sleep and drink your water. If you get your, if we have enough, our brain has enough sleep. There are so many things that happen when you sleep, and also when you get enough water. So highly, highly recommend it. I have actually my water right here. Um, do you ever feel like you were put at a disadvantage? Goodness, do you ever feel like you were put at a disadvantage from other people in your education? What do you think about the reality TV shows about the Amish? So, as far as my education, personally, I have not felt that. I drink a lot of water today. Awesome. I have not really felt that. I think, for one, it did not affect my career, the career path that I chose. more education would not really have helped that at all. And so I do not feel like I was put at a disadvantage. However, working with other girls that come from that community and guys knowing stories and things, I do think some have been, depending what your career path is, there is a big disadvantage of not having more, there isn't a disadvantage of not having more education. So I think it really just depends what you want to do, and you can always get your GED. I think that can be super helpful. I know of some that got their GEDs or are getting their GEDs, and it's easier to get a job that way and a better paying job. Um, I think you're very gifted and got good work ethic. Thank you. I I would say in general, school was pretty easy for me, and so, and again, with the career path I chose with multi-level marketing, and the cleaning and the custom work that I do for people, my past and upbringing was fantastic for those. So, um, I don't feel like I was at a disadvantage, but I do see that in some, especially girls that leave, or but guys too, that they don't have the education. What about the reality TV shows about the Amish? I haven't actually listened to a lot of TV shows. I don't watch really shows, but the little bit or the some that I have watched, um, a lot of them are shows. That's kind of what they are. So I wouldn't say that there's a lot of them that aren't accurate at all. Not saying there's no parts of it, but it's like you need to screen it, and most of it will fall through the screen, and there's some that will stick because it's accurate. But for specific shows, I would need to really dig into what is right, accurate or not. And then again, it varies so much from culture to culture, denomination to denomination within the Amish, and so that could vary a lot too. Do you guys have questions? Feel free to put questions in the comments. That's kind of what I have for tonight. I know it's shorter than some. I think I will need to put it in advance um, further that I'm doing it, and for more questions and things. But glad you guys joined me tonight. I know it's going to be a little bit shorter, and we will see you again next time. I will try to post it in further advance and let you guys know. If you follow me on social media, I do post someone there and have some stuff in my stories as well. So we will see you again soon.